So these are the few definitions of research. Research comprising defining and redefining problems, formulating hypotheses, suggesting solutions. We collect the data, organize the data, evaluate the data, and making deductions and reaching conclusions. So research is a process of deliberate efforts, collecting information to analyze, to put it together and to evaluate it. Research can be defined as logical and systematic application of fundamentals of science to the general and overall question of the study. So these are the few definitions. Research is thus the original contribution of the existing stock of knowledge, making for its advancement also. In spite of new, it also helpful in advancing the existing stock. Then research provides the needed information that guides managers or decision makers to make informed decisions to successfully deal with a problem. The information provided could be a result of careful analysis. As we said, it is a systematic approach, careful analysis of data gathered first hand or of the data which is already available. What is the first hand information? Is the basic information we collect based upon the research problem, and available sources is a secondary source that may also be used in coming up with a solution. So this is in short research. Then what are the characteristics of the research? See, here if you go through all the given the definitions of research, we come out with these characteristics. One is a systematic investigation. It is a logical and objective study that has to be reproducible, in the sense that should be practically applicable, can be used in the real world, that is reproducible. It is a generation of new knowledge, addition of the new knowledge, improvement of the new knowledge. It should have relevance to the society, Apart from that, it places emphasis on discovery of general principles and scientific generalizations that can be applied to the solution on a wide range of problems. It helps in alternative courses of action. Overall, it is a problem solving tool. If you can say, in short, it is a problem solving tool. So dear students, is it okay? Can I proceed? Okay, thank you. If there is any questions, you can ask in between also by typing. One, if you come to the types of the research, see, basically there are so many words are used for research, but any word used that will be either part of basic research or applied research. Basically, it is classified into two categories. One is a basic research. It is also known as fundamental research, pure research, theoretical research. I will define these things. That applied research is a decisional research. Example, action research. So many other words will also be used. I'll explain you with this example, with your example. So basically, research is revolved around two types. One is basic research and applied research. Okay. Then, what is basic research? Basic research aims at expanding the depth of the knowledge and does not directly involve in existing problems. See, for example, suddenly a problem has come in your organization and you want a solution. Then we use few concepts, theorems, psychological concepts, or previously studied or proved scientific concepts, whether those can be applied for solving that problem. So what are the things I said? Theories, concepts, psychological concepts, all these things are a part of basic research based upon some prepositions, existing situations. These theories are developed. Okay, so it addresses to more fundamental questions and not to the problem of immediate commercial potential. That is, this is not used to find the solution of the immediate problem. Okay, it is to generate a body of knowledge by trying to comprehend and how certain problems that occur in the organization can be solved. See, for example, law of demand. As the price increases, what happens? Demand decreases. We all agree for that? Yes, we have. It is a law of demand. How it has come into existence? It is a part of basic research. Now, there will be some deviation to that one based upon the existing environment. As the price of the share increases, demand also increases. It is a contradictory to the basic theorem. It's a part of applied research where depending upon the situation is changed, but theorems are developed based upon the basic research. The findings of such research contributes to the building of knowledge in the various functional areas of the state. It gives results in the form of broad generalizations or principles and theories. It aims at discovering some basic truth and laws, and it is not immediately concerned with the direct field applications. Okay? This is the basic research. It means this research will be done based upon the existing literature, available resources. Okay? This is the basic research. Now, applied research. What is applied research? It aims at finding a solution to the immediate problems faced by the society. See, that is different and this is different. That is helpful for developing the theories, concepts, and this is immediate solution. It proceeds with certain problems and its specific alternative solutions and the possible outcomes of each alternative. It is to solve current problems faced by the organization in work setting, demanding the timely solution. It is concerned primarily with the testing of such theories. Theories are developed in basic research, testing of such theories and laws in the actual field settings. There is one AIDA principle in advertisement we use. AIDA, A represents awareness, I represent interest, D desire, then again A action. Is it that applicable to the present scenario? If we need to apply, then that will be used in the present scenario using applied research. Is applied research, one question is applied research is based on basic research? Sometimes and sometimes not. For example, if you want to test the AIDA principle in the present situation, then it is based on basic research outcome. If there is a sudden outcome of the strike of the employees in your organization, then we have to go for applied research. There is no principles to solve those type of problems. Okay, Mr. Ranjan, is it clear? So, research is of two types, basic research and applied research. Now, there are so many other words where the part of your syllabus shows types of research. See, these are various basic types of research we come across these things. One is word use, descriptive research. Once there was a question of if ex post facto research, what is ex post facto research? Okay, it is a descriptive research, includes surveys and fact-finding inquiries of different kinds, also known as ex post facto. After completion of some event, incident, if you want to find out why that incident has happened, then it is an ex post facto research. We use primary source for finding the reason for such incident and we come out with a solution. Okay, it is an ex post facto. After completion of the incident, we go for research. Whereas in basic research, what we do? Conceptually, we think of some theories and we go for research. Analytical research uses facts and information already available and analyze these to make a critical of the information. So usually descriptive research is done using the primary source. Analytical research is used by using secondary source. Applied research and fundamental research. Yes, we have seen aims at finding a solution for an immediate problem being faced by the society or organization. This is suddenly students are not turning up to the class What is the reason? You want to find out. Then we go for applied research. We ask the student, we prepare a questionnaire, we interact with the students, we interview the students and come up with a solution. If I want to know which method of teaching will be more effective for understanding, then we have to go for the psychological concepts. Then it is a part of fundamental research or basic research. So it is mainly concerned with generalization and the formulation of theory. So this is the difference between applied research and fundamental research. The other types of research is quantitative research and qualitative research. Quantity represents the number, quality represents the phrases. If we do research based on the numbers, it is a quantitative research, measurement of quantity or amount. It is applicable to the phenomenon that can be expressed in terms of quantity. Qualitative research is concerned with the qualitative phenomenon, that is attitude, opinion, perception, etc. See, before answering the question of Chandran, I will complete this. There is one word we use, a scaling technique. How is the IQ of a particular student? We say very good, good, normal, bad, very bad. We use these phrases. If we change that words to numbers, we give very good 5 marks, good 4 marks, neutral 3, bad 2, and 1 for very bad. If you are changing these numbers, phrases to numbers, it is known as scaling technique. So when we measure this by using scaling technique and we change to numbers, it is a quantitative research, and if we use the phrases, it is qualitative research. There is a question by Mr. Chandram Verma, that is what is X post. X is happened. X minister, X person, X principal. That is after happening. If we do research, find the solution, it is X post. Is it okay? Is it okay? I hope you understood this. Okay. Next.
Any example?
Any example? See, like suddenly a fire has broken in the organization and we want to find out the reason for that breakage of fire. Incident has happened already and we are finding the reason, that is exposed. Suddenly last month 10 employees of the organization have resigned. I want to find out the reason why those people have resigned now. Okay? Yeah, after the effect had taken place, right? Okay, I hope you understood. Thank you. Then other words also we use, conceptual research. Again, it is a part of basic research. It is related to some abstract ideas or theory general used by philosophers and thinkers to develop new concepts and reinterpret the existing one. See, conceptual research, there was an election in UP and a particular party, BJP, has emerged as one of the best, leading party there. Now, I want to find out the reason. I go through various existing available resources like the data and all, and I will come out with some reason why it has happened. So that opinion may be different from the person to person. It is a part of basic research. In conceptual research also, we come up with some abstract ideas, philosophies and thinkers and develop the new concept that if you do this one, that may happen. So it is a generalized principle. So it is a conceptual research. If we go for humanities, languages, usually basic research is used. In empirical research, it is a data-based, primary data-based, come out with the concrete solution supported by some evidence. It is an empirical research. So most of the social sciences research will be empirical research, or we can say it is a part of analytical research, and it is a data-based research, come up with a conclusion which are capable of being verified by observation and experiment. can also be called as experimental research. Why we are saying this? It has got some evidence. If you come up with solution, if somebody asks you, how can you say this? Then this is the evidence based on the data available, based on the interpretation and the statistical outcome. We are saying that this is the right. Okay. So these are the various types of research. Apart from that, we also use the words like exploratory research. What is exploratory? There are three types here in exploratory research: literature survey, experience survey, case study. See, in exploratory research, usually based on the secondary source. It is based on the secondary source. It is intended to find out the hypothetical solutions on actions. Hypothetical solutions. I told you earlier that in empirical research, it is a data-based research, but whereas in exploratory research, hypothetical solutions will come based upon the available resources like literature. We go through various resources available, like if we see past research findings published in journals, various types of literatures, conceptual literatures, statistics, psychological literature, all these things will be there. So based upon the outcome of those things, we say that this may be the solution for that problem. That's the reason we use word hypothetical solutions. Experience survey. This is another way based upon the experience, the knowledge of the person who is coming out with the solution for that problem. So indicates the use of reservoir of knowledge and experience of the person who is familiar in that specific subject of investigation. So there's a reason sometimes if the problem comes, people take the opinion of the experienced people and they come out with the solution. That is an example of experience survey. Okay. Then case study, it is a written literature available based upon the practical research and its implications or implementations on a particular study. Practical solutions to the problems will be there. If we do this, that will happen. So if our problem is similar to that one, we go through the case study and we also try to come up with a solution with the available literature. So all these methods are part of exploratory research. The outcome will be hypothetical. It is not supported by some evidence. Okay, is it clear? Exploratory study is also based on data. What type of data? Mr. Mohsin Khan, data is available secondary data. Available secondary data. Yes, it is secondary data. We try to explore the available information. If we go through all the articles which are available for the past 1 month about the political scenario in India, we come up with some opinion, perception of our own. It is an example of exploratory research. Okay. Exploratory research. Perception of a person changes from person to person. Okay. There is no evidence. Then the next part, is it okay? Yeah. The next is conclusive research or descriptive research. See, this is another method. So exploratory research, it can be a part of basic research also. Then comes to descriptive research. Here the answer to the questions will be there, how the problem can be solved. That's the reason it is known as descriptive research. Answers to the questions. How do we answer to the question? See, when we prepare a questionnaire, we ask the questions to the respondent. Based upon the responses given by the respondents, we come out by using data analysis, data interpretation, we come out with some solution. And we conclude that because of XYZ incident, this is the outcome. That is an example of conclusive research. There are two types in that: longitudinal study and cross-sectional study. Longitudinal study, there are two types: panel study, true panel and omnibus. What is a panel? Panel is a group of person respondents selected for repetitive measurement of a particular problem. That is a panel. If the same study is done again and again, the same study is done again and again from the same respondents, it is known as true panel. And another is omnibus panel. Respondents will be same. Every time different questions will be asked to them regarding different problems. That is omnibus panel and true panel. You can go through from various books. Okay. The other part of conclusive study is cross-sectional. Why we are using cross-sectional study here? Cross-section of the society. What do you mean by this? It's concerned with the sample of elements from a given population that may deal with the various sections of the society. It can be females, males, household, dealers, or politicians, anything. Cross section, that is, it is a representative of the part of the population, cross section of the society. If we do research based upon those people, then it is a conclusive research. We usually, when we collect the information based upon a primary source, we usually take the cross section of society. For example, if we are asking for the for example, if you are asking for questions to the students, employees, housewives, and retired employees, working employees, retired employees, it is a different sections of the society. Among them, literate people, illiterate people, male, female. So all these are included. So when different sections of society are included in the research, it is known as cross-sectional research. But usually conclusive research will be based upon the primary source. It may also take the help of secondary source, as it is stated that secondary source also used to get the outcome, because these are the various examples: literature search, experience survey, and all. Okay, so this is. Then what is causal research? See here in causal research, there will be cause and effect relationship. It is effective to measure the cause and effect relationship between the events and the variables. What is the cause and effect? If I punish the boy, what will be his reaction? That is cause and effect. In experimental, or it is also known as experimental research, if I hit the ball to the wall, then how it is coming up? If I train the employees in a particular direction, what will be the outcome of that training? So this is the cause and effect relationship. In this cause and effect relationship, we measure what will be the effect. So what there are two types. Okay. One is natural experiments, the other one is controlled experiments. In natural experiments, we go through various types are there. That is, one is try out design, before and after, without control group, or pre-test or post-test design. These are the designs which are available. Just it is a part of testing, wherever the testing will come, pre-test, post-test, try out, control variables, then it is a part of causal research. Okay. Here, what is a controlled variable? It is that variable is a comparable group on whom the experiment is not exposed. On whom the experiment is not exposed. Experimental group or control group. See, is it clear? Okay. Cause and effect relationship will be studied here. Okay. So these are the various types of research. Overall, research basically turn around the two things. One is basic research and applied research. Basic research and applied research. Okay. Based upon the nature of the study we do, we can assess whether it is a part of applied research or basic research. Most of the studies of humanities will be done as a part of basic research. Most of the studies in social studies is done on applied research. Various words are used here, like action research. What is action research? Action in the sense immediate solution for that one. It is a part of applied research. Okay, is it clear? See, cause and empirical. Empirical research, I'll get you here. See, Empirical research is a data-based research. Data-based research. In causal research also, it is a data-based. In causal research also, it is a data-based. If I trained a person, I selected 5 salespeople. I have sent them to the market. I have noted their sales. I am maintaining the data. Then I will experiment on them. What is the experimental variable? I will give training to them for 10 days. As after training, I send to the market. Then I have taken their outcome. I mean, what is the performance? Then again, I have maintained the data. So cause and effect. What is the cause? Cause is the training, effect, outcome. But this is supported by some data. So it is an empirical research, and I use causal variable, causal type of research. So we use so many overlapping conceptual research as well as empirical research also. It is not compulsory that we have to use only one word, that I am going for experimental research only, empirical research only. In empirical, we can use longitudinal research, quantitative research is also a part of empirical, applied research is also a part of empirical. If you use the data supported with it, it is an empirical research. Okay. Now, coming to the steps of research. See, this is one of the important part in your research aptitude, where at least 3 questions we expect. At least 3 questions we expect. So this is a standard format where I told you that every research starts with problem and ends with the solution. Every research starts with the problem and ends with the solution. You can see the steps: identification of the problem, defining the problem. Identification, or we can use the word defining the problem. Review. Then second part is the review of literature. There are 2 types of reviews: review of concepts and theories. Concepts and theories is a part of basic research, and review of previous research findings against secondary source, outcome of primary research. Okay, but when we use this, it will be a part of basic research. Then formulating objectives and hypotheses starts with the problem, and it goes like this. Okay. Specify the research procedure. I'll explain you detail. It is also known as research methodology, research design. Collect the data, collection of the data, process, analyzing and interpretation of the data. We use data interpretation, data analysis, any word we can use, and presenting the fact. We can use, and technically, a solution or findings, conclusions, suggestions. So these are the basic things. One starting with the problem and ends with the solution. I will explain you in detail regarding this. Is it okay? Is it okay? I want responses. Meanwhile, I will take a glass of water. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you are following. Now, what is a research problem? Very simple answer for this is research problem, or defining the research problem, helpful in solving the problem in a better way. That is, a well-defined problem is half solved. It is important to find out the root cause of the problem. For example, if you go to a doctor with a headache or stomach ache, if you go to a doctor with a stomach ache, will he immediately give medicine to you? No. He will ask you the details. Is it a regular problem to you? If you say no, then what did you had in the evening? In the food? Or what is your, so many one-on-one questions they will ask. Then he will come up with some medicine. Hypothetically, as he says that problem may be because of this. Why he asks all these things? Because symptoms, what are the symptoms and all those things. Why he asks all these things is, he want to give the correct solution to the problem. So for having the correct solution, we should in detail define the problem or identify the basic root cause of the problem. So there are 2 steps involved in this. One is understanding the problem thoroughly. The other one is rephrasing the same into meaningful terms from an analytical point of view. What is that you want to do? Okay. So it is one of the important part, and first step of any research is, there was a question of this kind. What is the first step of research? First step of research is defining the problem, identifying the problem. Okay. This is. Then the second step is review of literature. Why do we go for review of literature? Why it is important? It is a secondary source. It is a secondary source. As I told you, in exploratory research, not exploratory, exploratory research, it is one of the part, review of literature, literature review. So it is a critical assessment of the work done so far on the topic to show how the current study relates to what is already being done. Researcher should know what relevant studies are available so that he can understand how to go ahead with the research. It demonstrates your understanding on the theoretical and research issues related to your research question. That's the reason review of literature is of two parts. We need to understand the concepts, and also we need to study the resources available or studies available on this. So it focuses on the sources, material more relevant to the research. It contributes to your overall justification of your research. Must be more than a summary abstract. If we go through the review of literature, it will be there. It will be just major findings, and sometimes methodology will be shown to you. And it convinces the reader what your work fits with other work. See, there was one question. The basic purpose of going for review of literature is, the answer is to find the research gap. To find the research gap. It's one of the important objective of review of literature. We can justify in what way our study is different from other study. We will get a basic knowledge of the concepts available on that particular topic and theories available on that particular topic. What are the sources already, or what are the works already have been done, and in what way we are different from the other work. Okay, so one of the important reason for going for review of literature is to find the research gap. Research gap helpful in justifying the significance of the study and also justifying the objectives framed. This is also one question. Okay. Now, importance of the study is the part of the steps in research. It presents the rationale of your proposed study and clearly indicate why it is worth doing. Okay. It clarifies relevance to the present context, correctness of the problem. Research gap is one of the most, as I told you, justifying the importance of the study. Problem statement is a clear, precise and concise statement of the question or issue that is to be investigated with the goal of finding an answer to the solution. What is problem statement? This is our answer for this. So the other part is significance and importance of the study, followed by the objectives. What are the objectives? Objectives usually it's a points. It's the statements. It's not like a paragraph. Okay, these are the statements that researcher would like to find out through the study. Then many researchers break down the objectives into immediate or specific. Sometimes the basic major objective is so and so, and sub objectives and so and so we write. Briefly describe the major issues or sub issues to be addressed in the study. Based upon this, there was a question. Objective after importance of the study, the next part will be the objectives, next part will be hypothesis, or if depending upon them, after objectives, research methodology will come. After methodology, data analysis, interpretation will come in this way. So this is the sequence. So after objectives, it is followed by hypothesis, period of the study, scope of the study, limitations. Okay. Then this is one of the important part of your syllabus, that is research methodology or design. See, as we proceed further, if you want a good solution, for example, if you are constructing the house, you will decide what, where and how should be your building. Where should be the drawing room, what should be the flooring, how should be the terrace and all those things. So a blueprint. If if your blueprint is good, then our building will be good. If your blueprint is not good, then building may not be good. In the same manner, in research also, this methodology is totally based upon the objectives of the study. Then we give a detailed plan how, what, and how to go ahead for this research. So it is a detailed plan of investigation. It is a conceptual structure. Conceptual why we are using is, before going practically, we prepare a conceptual structure within which the research is conducted. It constitutes a blueprint of the collection, measuring, and analysis of the data. Okay, so this is a research design. It gives the strategy. It explains the strategy, how to proceed further for the study. It is a blueprint strategy of the research. Anybody use? Now, as I told you, in this we have to in detail define what type of research you are going to do. If it is applied research, then sources of data, sample design will be different. If it is a basic research, then the following steps will be different. So clearly we have to define whether it is a applied research or it is a basic research. Okay. Then the next step in this is we have to define whether we are going for a primary data or for the secondary data. Definitely, if it is an applied research, we go for primary source. If it is a basic research, we go for secondary source. If it is a applied research, we can make use of both primary and secondary source also. Okay. Now, what are the various types of primary source of data collections? See, primary data will be collected from the respondent. Who is the respondent? Respondent is a person who gives answers to the queries you have made based upon your questionnaire, based upon your observation, based upon your interview, we can say. Okay. So primary source and secondary source. Primary source, what are the advantages? The advantages of primary sources will have evidence for the solution, and secondary source already available resources. So I will go through in detail about the primary sources. The tool for the primary source, it can be a questionnaire. I will go in detail. Before going that, we have got sample design. It is also one of the important part of your research methodology. What are the various types of sampling method, sample unit, and sample size? You may be aware that there are various types of sampling methods are there. Basically, sampling methods are of two types. One is random sampling method and non-random sampling method. It is also known as random sampling or probabilistic sampling. Probability. What is probability? The occurrence of the event will be the same. If you toss a coin, head or tail, equal percentage will be there for occurrence of that event. Okay, chances of occurrence of the event. So either it is a probability sampling or non-probability sampling. In probability sampling, we have to define which method we are using. I'll just put a light on this one. There are four types. One is simple random sample. Population will be known. From that population, we just select in a class of 60 students. Just we select 5 or 10 students randomly without my choice. Selection of that sample will be by chance. What is sample? Sample is a part of the population. Here in a class of 60, population is 60, and if I select 5 people, it is a sample. So simple random example is lottery method, we can say. Then the other method is stratified sample. What is the meaning of strata? Strata is a group. Stratified sampling method we use when we know the characteristics of the population. In a class there are 60 students, out of which I need to select 30 students. Then how should I do stratification? I will make it into 3 groups. One is, for example, based upon the characteristics, that is education, background. One is social sciences. One group that can become BA. The other group is mathematics, that is maths, physics, chemistry. The other group is biological science, botany, zoology. Three groups, three strata I will make. From these, each strata, then 10 from each group. That is 10 from social sciences, 10 from mathematics, 10 from biological sciences. It gives the representative sampling method. It is representative sampling where there is every possibility of the representation of this strata of this sample in the population. This is more scientific among all the methods. Among all the methods, the most scientific method is stratified sampling. Is it clear? Is it clear, dear students? Very nice. Anybody else? Okay, I hope I am justifying. The third method, and also another word we use like cluster sampling. What is a cluster? Cluster is, see, in stratification, I have divided the population of 60 based upon some criteria. In cluster, I cannot divide based upon criteria because I don't know who are there. Cluster is also known as, there was a question, cluster sampling is also known as distribution free. I cannot distribute the population. It is also known as distribution free sampling. Cluster sampling is also known as distribution free sampling. The other method is systematic sampling. I follow one system. Out of 60 students, every 5th student should be my sample. 5th, 10th, 15, 20, equal intervals. When I use equal intervals, it is another method. The other one is multi-stage sampling. These are the various methods of probabilistic sampling or random sampling methods. Multi-stage, I will select the sample in different stages. If I want to select 100 people from a particular village or 100 students of MSc Mathematics, first I will select the state, first step. Second, in that state I will select the university, second step. In third step, I will select the college. In fourth step, I will select the students. All the selections will be random. So these are the 4 methods of random sampling. In non-random, non-choice, non-probabilistic. Here, the selection of the sample based upon the choice of the researcher. In that, we have got 4 types. One is purposive. As per my requirement, I want to select 10 doctors who are A+. I'll get the list of 10 doctors, and based upon my need, I will approach them. So I know whom to select, whom not to select. Convenience, based upon my convenience, if I want to select 10 students, I know X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, I will select those people. Sequential sample. If, for example, if anybody asks you to send 10 intelligent students of your class, what sequence you should ask, or how should I select? I will take out their marks based upon the highest mark first sample, then followed by second, third, fourth, fifth. That is, I follow one sequence for selection of the sample. Then quota sampler, it is a deterministic. If it is said that there should be 20 male and 20 female, yes, I will select 20 males of my choice and 20 female of my choice. So these are the various non-probabilistic methods. Okay, so this is one thing, which sampling method we have to define. Then sample unit. Sample unit is a respondent to your research. If you want to know which vehicle is good, performance of a new vehicle, then my sample unit will be the user of that vehicle. Okay, that is sample unit, the respondent. Sample size, again, a selection of the sample size, there is no deterministic or a particular method for that. A small sample may be representative sample, a large sample may not be representative sample. So it all depends upon how do you select the sample size. There is no hard and fast rule of selecting a sample size. It all depends upon what factors you consider while selecting the sample size. I'll repeat 2, 3, 4 factors are there. One is, if the population is large, sample size should be large. One factor is population. The second one is homogeneity. If you are selecting the sample having the same characteristics, if the population is there having the same characteristics, the sample size can be small. If you want to select 100 students, if all are PG, then you can have a small sample. If you want to select 100 students, it is a combination of KG to PG, then you need to have large sample. One is the size of the population, the second is homogeneity, the third is nature of the study. If the nature of the study is very important, any wrong solution may give a big loss to the organization, then sample size will be more. Nature of the study high, sample size should be large. Then fourth factor that can be considered is the available resources. If the resources are more, then you can have a large sample. If the resources are less, resource in the sense money, manpower and time is more, you can go for larger sample. Okay. Then the another factor we consider is the accuracy of the solution. If you want a more accurate answer, the larger the sample we go. If you want more accurate, sample size should be more, or else a sample size can be. These are the factors we consider while selecting the sample size. Okay. We have to decide in research methodology. Okay. The other components of research methodology is data collection method. As I told you, this how you are going to collect the data. The other one is various tools are questionnaire. Why do we use structured questionnaire? Because this question will be tested. Testing and pre-testing. If the word testing has come, there are two words we use in research aptitude, that a good questionnaire is that questionnaire which is reliable and also valid. Listen, dear students, a good questionnaire is that questionnaire which is tested in terms of reliability and validity. What is the benchmark for testing the reliability in terms of percentages? If it is a more than 0.7, that means 70% reliable. Accuracy and sample size are directly proportional. Any question? But sir, is accuracy and sample size are directly proportional? No. See, if the sample size is large, if the respondents give you wrong answers, we cannot expect accuracy. Biasness will come. Is it not? Is it clear, Ranjan? No, these are not directly proportional. A small sample may be a gives good solution. A large sample may not give good solution. It is not directly proportional. Is it okay? Then comes to the questionnaire. See, this is one of the tools for selecting the questionnaire. Here also, how many questions should be there? There is no hard and fast rule. How should be a good questionnaire? I am going, I was talking about reliability and validity. If the score is more than 70%, then it is a reliable. What does it mean by 0.7? That means if repetitive measurements have done, I got 70% of same responses. If I ask you today, after some days I ask you same question, after a few days I ask you same questions, I should get the same answer. Then it is a reliable and also valid. There are various parameters for testing the validity. Validity is understanding of the questionnaire. So a good questionnaire is that which has got reliable and valid. One thing. The other one is questionnaire. How should be a questionnaire? If the respondent cooperates in answering the questions, it is also a good questionnaire. For cooperation of the respondent, what do we need? We need to have various things. One is type of the question. Basically, there are two types of questions. We are falling short of time. I will go fast. There are two types of question. One is open-ended and close-ended. Open-ended question is, example is fill in the blank type. Close-ended question is multiple type. Only there will be two types of questions. In close-ended, again they are different. Yes/no type questions and various options will be there. In that various options, again different rank. Sometimes what factors do you consider while selecting a particular bike? For purchasing a bike, rank your preference, brand name, price, economy and all those things. Or there will be a question like very good, price of the vehicle, outlook of the vehicle, very good, excellent, very good, good, neutral, bad, very bad, worst. These are the various types. Again, it is a part of close-ended questions only, where the respondent has got limited options, defined options to give answers is a close-ended question. Okay, this is the close-ended example. Now, what are the various types of interviews and technique? Which method you adopt? Interviews also, there are various types of interviews. Okay, just I will put a structured direct interview, one thing, unstructured direct interview, structured and indirect interview, unstructured and indirect interview. I will give one example of this one. Structured and direct interview. Usually when we prepare a structured questionnaire, we ask direct questions to the respondent. It is a structured in the form of a particular what question should be asked first, what should be asked next, a structured form. Unstructured and direct interview, we are asking directly to the respondent, but in an unstructured manner. What do you mean by unstructured manner? We don't know what to ask, what not to ask. We don't know what to ask. Just we start with an interview. How are you? Where do you stay? Do you have internet? Yes. Do you have that? I want to interview a person with Facebook account. Then do you use internet? Yes. Do you have social network? Use social network site? Yes. Then which site? Facebook? Yes. Then I come to know that is the person who is my respondent. It is unstructured. Examples of unstructured direct interviews: pilot interviews, depth interviews, Delphi technique. What is a Delphi technique? This is a word used. Delphi technique is a technique which is used. A group of people will be selected. A problem will be posed on those things. By discussions, deliberations, they will come up with some question. That is, they come up with some solution. That is a Delphi technique. Okay. So this is a matter of experience and knowledge. This is an example of this. Structured and indirect. This is example is structured. If I ask a person how intelligent you are, he says I am highly intelligent. What is the proof? Then what we do? We put a test to them, like logical reasoning, data interpretation. All these things are examples of structured and indirect. Projective technique we use, sentence completion technique we use, description of a diagram we use. These are all the structured and indirect interview examples. We also have a word thematic appreciation test, TAT. That is, I depict some situation and a person is asked to explain that situation. So this is an example of. The other type of interview is unstructured and indirect. Unstructured, there is no questionnaire. Indirect, we are not asking directly. For example, if you want to inquire about a person, we inquire to his friend. That is indirect. In that way, there are various observation methods also we use. Here also observations. There are various types of observations. Discuss structured, unstructured observations. Structured in the sense, again, whom to observe. Unstructured is just everybody will be observed and a required respondents data will be taken. Discuss, undiscussed observation, observation under natural settings, laboratory settings, direct and indirect observation. What is direct observation? We observe at the time of happening of the event. Indirect is we observe after the event has happened. For example, if you want to know what is the crime rate of a particular area, what we do? We go to a particular police station of that area and we find out. This is the indirect observation, human and mechanical observation. So these are the various methods by which we collect the data. These are all the methods which I explained use a part of the primary source. Then data analysis method also should be defined in research methodology. You should explain what statistical tools you are using, descriptive, that is whether it is a central tendency or deviation, that is, for example, mean, median, mode, or you are using quartile deviation or standard deviation. We also have to hypothetically explain what inferential statistics or hypothetical tests you use, t-test, z-test, chi-square test, null variance, and various other types of tests. There was one question on this. What is the difference between large sample and small sample? Or indirectly it is asked how the number 30 is important in statistics. Number 30 differentiate between large sample and small sample. If the sample size is equal to 30 or less than 30, it is a small sample. It is also known as t-test. If the sample size is more than 30, it is a z-sample. The last sample, it is also known as z-test. So this is how we use. Then factor analysis, cluster analysis. Why do we use? Just I'll tell you, the basic purpose of factor analysis or cluster analysis is to condense the large data to a meaningful factors. If there are 100 variation, 100 types of questions are there, 100 questions are there in a particular questionnaire, then those questions will be clubbed and it will be made to 7 or 8 one statistical tools we can use. And that is the basic purpose of factor and cluster analysis is to reduce the data, large data into small data. So these are the components of research methodology. types of research, source of data, sample design, we have to decide, data collection method, and what data analysis are using, and if you are using any statistical package, we can. Okay, is it okay, dear students? Any doubts? Okay, we'll proceed. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, this we have seen all these things. I'll cover the research ethics overall, just in a brief. What is ethics? Morals. Basically, morals. Once you go for a research, you should have some ethics. That is, I'll just read out these slides. Ethical issues related to moral characteristics of the people, fairness. If you are collecting the data of a particular respondent, it is our duty not to disclose the data to the other people. That is the ethics. Privacy has to be maintained. Confidentiality has to be maintained. And if you are doing a research, you should not hurt the sentiment of any particular people, family, religion. Okay, it should be an accountability for that. So this is an example of ethics. Promote the aim of research like truth and avoidance of errors. It is a collaborative work. Trust, accountability, and mutual respect and fairness should be there. Okay, examples: copyright, patenting policy, data sharing policy, confidentiality rules. So we have to maintain all these things. You cannot just copy. You're violating the ethics. So research ethics are there. Components of research, ethical research is there should be honesty. Plagiarism has come. Honesty in publication. Do not fabricate. If there is a sample size you wanted to collect is 100, you just have a 40 sample and remaining you will just fill up. That is not ethical thing. Okay. Do not fabricate, misinterpret data. Do not deceive colleagues or granting agencies. Integrity should be there. Whatever the promise, you should fulfill the promise. You should stand on the promise. Carefulness, openness, intellectual property has to be respected. You should maintain confidentiality wherever is possible. You should be responsible in publication and monitoring also. Okay. You should have social responsibility. For example, it should not hurt the sentiment of any people. Okay. It should be non-discriminating. For one person, this is good. The other person, biasness should not be there. It should be competence and it should have a legality. Okay. These are the few ethical components. Before end, I'll tell you, there was one question: what is the heart of the research? In a human being, our heart is very important for good functioning. In the same manner, the heart of the research is what? Can anybody give answer for this? If your planning is good, if your blueprint is good, building will be good. Then what is the heart of the research? Research methodology is the answer. Research design is the answer, right, Purnima? Research plan is the heart of the research. So these are the few things. If you understand the concept in a better way, then definitely you can answer. So before concluding, anybody, any question? Okay. So hope I thanks the examometer.com who has given me opportunity to explain you, and I thank all the students. I thank all the students who have taken advantage of Examometer. It is a free webinar, and I request the examometer.com people to upload this on their website. So in the same manner, dear students, we have planned a series of webinar which will be cover all 10 units of paper 1. We are planning in future. I request all the people to participate. Okay. Experts and faculties of conducting this webinar we have selected. We are in the process. It includes future webinars will be shared on social media to the people who have registered with us. Okay. You can email me or support ID of Examometer for any queries. I am always available. I appreciate your queries from that. And what will be the next class? It will be intimated to you by examometer.com, and definitely I am going to complete the syllabus of part which is left out, like what is seminar and all those things are there, and whatever I feel important. Okay, definitely I'll explain you. The PPT slide will be sent to all the attendees through email. That will be sent to you. Paper 1 package is available. Yes, it is available. You can take care. You can purchase this one. Please take, and another request. See, I request all the students to participate in the feedback questions poll. This will help us in increasing or improving my webinar, my lecture. So I request all the people, please let me know what extra I can do. Yeah, statistics definitely, but I am a statistician also. Okay, definitely. But Mr. Vikesh Kumar, if you want a specific any particular query, you can write to me, or you can write to Examometer. They will pass on to me. Examometer.com has a list of free resources like old question papers are there. Okay, but take advantage of that one. You just take out all the questions are related to this my topic. If there is any doubt, you can ask me. Research design and research methods. See, research design, one question was research design. Research design is a blueprint. Research method is a specific method you want to adopt for going for the research. Like basic research you want to adopt, or pure research you want to adopt. You want to adopt quantitative research, qualitative research. That is, design is a strategy. Design is a strategy. You need to, another question was, okay, before I complete, I use the practical, if need, use practical question papers are available, mock tests are available, test series are available, okay, all these things will be there. Yeah, what was the question? Any suggestion, some tools which we need to be aware before proceeding the research? See, research is a very broad area. If you want to go for a research career in social sciences, definitely you should need to know the basics of statistics. Basic of statistics. Yeah. Then further you can proceed with the application of statistics. Then you can go for, applying of those statistical tools in research. See, descriptive. We are describing. Another question was from Natarajan. What do you mean by descriptive? Describing. If you want to describe, Mr. Natarajan is an intelligent boy. How do you say the question? Then, based upon, suppose I have conducted an examination and he got 90 marks out of 100. So I give an evidence to my solution, that is an intelligent boy. That is a descriptive research. Any research which is supported by the evidence is a descriptive research. And what method you adopt, then again, is different. Explanatory research, I don't have this kind of explain. No. Exploratory. Yeah, exploratory. Exploring the things. How do you explore? See, for example, there is a problem of a sudden strike in a particular organization, and no employee is coming to the organization. All are on strike, or suddenly they are not coming. And your organization, for example, is an organization of some manufacturing unit. What you do? You go to the case studies, which the same kind of problem which has happened earlier in various similar type of organizations, and how they have come up with a solution. Exploring the solution for the available resources is exploratory research. Or what you do is you call few experienced people who have taken up that kind of situation with a good solution. You take the feedback of those people, and based upon their feedback, based upon their suggestions, you give solution. That is also exploring the experience available with them. That is exploring. Okay.
In the meantime, they can answer the questions.
In the meantime, if you can give the feedback also on the screen is available. And there was another question, Mr. Urmina Harsh. Major difference between quota, cluster, and stratified. Yes. See, I will first define the difference between the cluster and stratified. If the population is divided based upon some criteria, suppose suppose in a village there are 100 families. The criteria which I adopt is I want to have responses from the male and female. I will divide into two parts. One is male, the other one is female. I made two clusters. One is male and the other one is female. Now I want to have specifically representation of a particular set. That is, if I divide those group, a cluster of 50 male, 50 female, that is a cluster. I have not subdivided them based upon some criteria. If I subdivide them based upon some criteria like educated male, educated, uneducated male, educated female, uneducated female, that is the stratification. Dividing the group based upon a particular criteria. If we know the criteria, it is a stratification. Cluster is, I don't know their specific criteria. That is a cluster distribution theory. Quota, you said. Quota is a specific obligation where a respondent has to, where the researcher has to select a particular number from a particular population. In a village, I need to have 20% male, 20% female. Definitely I need to have. Okay. Thank you. Anything else? I once again thanks all the participants who enthusiastically participated, and I will be happy if you give the feedback, if you fill the feedback, and if you suggest me to have any improvement on these things, I will be very happy. And once again, I request you all to suggest your friends to use examometer.com, guide your students to use examometer.com. I also given a lot of resources in examometer.com. This is run by the professional people who are the teachers. Okay. Thank you. Thanks one and all. Let us meet. One question was, what is the date of the next? That will be intimated by examometer.com to all the people who have registered. Do purchase the packages available on the website of examometer.com. Thank you. And another thing is, examometer.com is also offering CTET papers, Teachers Eligibility Test, Central Teachers Eligibility Test. Please inform others, your friends also. Thank you. Thanks one and all.